You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome everybody to the episode number 4 of the Battered Cafeteros. I am your host Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. Jorge Torres. How are you doing, sir?
Buenos dias, senor. How are we doing?
I'm living the dream. I told you earlier.
I am too. You know,
Yeah, I love the Deportivo Pereira kit you got there.
for sure. Got this back when last time I went there. It was a nice little gift my cousin gave me, so we're rocking it.
I'm rocking the Luis Diaz uh, sporting kit. Um, I know,
Luis
random.
Suarez, right?
Yeah, Luis Suarez. What did I say?
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz. Oh, my fault. So Luis Suarez. Too many Luchos. Um, we can start with him. This episode, we're just going to talk about how we saw our national team players play over the weekend. And actually, he played in Champions League yesterday, and he got a second yellow. He's going to be out of the deciding game next week
That was
against.
a little bit of a weird dogfight right there versus
Yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah, and it's unfortunate that he's going to miss such a big match because that's a big chance to make a statement. Um, and yeah, he gets that yellow card accumulation. He's gonna miss the deciding game, so not the
At the
best look. Didn't
Emirates.
score, so not the best look for him. And I mean, I wasn't expecting such a show like that, but just randomly, yes, and not the best
No,
look for him.
it was tough to keep up with those two games because then you had Real Madrid Bayern on the other side. That was like that was the highlight game. And that was a good one too.
Yeah, because Luis Suarez didn't have a great game. He got the yellow card, and uh, like, I, oh, from what I'm looking at, where did I read that he was gonna be out, but look, I'm seeing now. I don't see that he got a yellow card yesterday. Hmm.
Let me see.
Where did I see that? So let me take that back, because maybe I'm misspeaking because I had seen somewhere that he was going to miss because unfortunately, like you said, it was hard to keep up both games because I was watching the Bayern into my
Mhm.
Real Madrid game because that to me that was the game of the night, and that game you had 900 million people watching that game. Like it was crazy, the most watched game, and I don't know how long. Great game, and Luis Diaz came out, put the first goal in, and Bayern looked
Beautiful pass. My gosh.
by Narby. And let me tell you, Narby had they could have won by more than that, but he blew a couple chances.
Mhm.
But Luis Diaz, Olis, and then Harry Kane up the middle, that team is so deadly. I can see why Luis Diaz might get frustrated when he goes and plays for the national team because when you watch them in the
It's an
attack,
embarrassment of riches when it comes back to
yeah,
Bayern.
man, they look so good over there. And Luis Diaz had the deciding, yeah, I guess basically one of the deciding goals. He scored the first one, and he just had an overall good game. And then Bayern just looked good. Luis Diaz playing with Bayern is going to be riding high into the World Cup, and he's going to be in great form because the way he looked yesterday and the way he looks playing with these guys in Bayern, Luis Diaz is just having a good overall season.
Hmm. I mean, like you said, he he's been scoring goals for fun at this point for with these guys, and it's a well-oiled machine. It's beautiful soccer to watch. Uh, you got Ulises on the right. Gnabry. Dishing out dimes like it's a beautiful thing to watch. And then Lucho's over here doing his thing. So you know stay healthy and just keep bagging in goals. And it's I don't see why he can't. His form is just taking off.
Oh wait, so Um, just real quick, because I'm trying to keep up, because I've read that he was gonna be suspended. It says here that UEFA corrected an error on their official match records after a yellow card initially attributed to Sporting Luis Suarez during the Champions League quarterfinal first leg. Arsenal was mistakenly recorded. The governing body has removed the booking from its official website, confirming that the caution was actually issued to Morita. So they changed it, and he will be able to play next week.
I see it here on Foot Mob.
Okay.
He doesn't have a yellow next to his name.
No, and that's why I was confused. Okay, so they changed it. Okay, that's cool that they went ahead and changed it after the fact. So he will be didn't have a great game yesterday, but he will be available for the next match. So that's good. So we went over Lucho. We went over Lucho. And I guess we could talk about, I guess, one of the bigger stories is James Rodriguez. We said he had 10 matches left in Minnesota until the World Cup break. And he needed to start playing the majority of those matches and he needed to ball out because he needs to be match fit when the World Cup comes around. And he has Quintero knocking at his heels. And then we find out that he has this hydration issue. He ends up in the hospital. He gets hospitalized. I don't know how long he was in there. Um, and he misses the game, obviously. Now, I don't know how much you've heard. I saw that they released a statement in Minnesota that, that it was serious, that he was in there, but now he's out and he's recovering. Um, what did you think when you heard the whole James news? Because all I could think was like, oh my God, not again. Like things just are not getting better for this guy.
So first of all, according to the statement, I'm glad it's nothing related to what's it called, lysis, whatever it's called.
Mm.
So I'm glad it's not that severe. My first initial reaction was a mix of two things. I think it's I was I was just upset because it says, is this coaching malpractice? How do you not properly hydrate your players? So I'm pissed at at the coaching, the strength and conditioning staff, because how do you not, see that, for one, see that he's not his normal self, and two, how are you not properly hydrating these dudes with proper water or Gatorade, whatever you use, right? On the other hand, I feel like you also got to put the blame on him. How do you not feel like you're not right and actually say something?
When
You
I
get,
initially
get
heard it,
huh?
when I initially heard it, and I feel bad saying it, but I
Yeah.
thought it
So
was BS.
so at least finishing my point, I was like, how do you not feel yourself? That it's like I'm off. Something doesn't feel right. I know. You're like when you. I don't know if you've ever been dehydrated before. I have.
Mm-mm.
You feel weak. You feel like you don't have everything in you. So like something's off. Like you actually need to go and get IVs or something like that to really properly hydrate you again. And so this my thing was just like, how do you not feel you're right? But so it's like I don't know who to put the blame on. But I'm first and most importantly, I'm glad he's back. You know, I'm glad he took some time to train. And like Minnesota just posted that he's back in training, so that's most important. But I was just upset. I was like, who am I mad at?
I thought that it was BS. I thought that because he had a bad showing, that maybe he had put this out there to the media. Then
Oh,
I
he
hear he's
thought they were Colombian.
hospitalized.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, maybe it is more serious. And then they keep coming out with more stories, and I was like, okay, all right, all right. Now I feel bad. I hope the guy's okay. Yeah, it's weird, like you said, that mm, you know that he wouldn't say anything. And how do you just not properly hydrate? Like like I'm sure that I don't know. It's just such a weird story. Um, but it led him to not playing again. Now he's down to 9 games before the World Cup break. Um, I don't know if he's still not in sync with his teammates. He hasn't practiced enough. Do you think there's enough time for him to get to the World Cup and be informed to perform well with only 9 games left?
Can he play this weekend? Let's just start there.
I
One game at a time. He's back.
I think
He's
I
baggage.
think he'll play, but he won't play 90.
No, I don't think he'll play 90, but at least
Right.
get back to it. At least these two games served him to get some kind of minutes. These past two games, France, Croatia, but then can he just get back? I think nobody expected this.
No. Let me see what because I was gonna see what their schedule looks like coming up because they just beat the LA Galaxy this past weekend, which is, I mean, it was unexpected for me. Let's see, they have San Diego this weekend, which is a top team. Then they
The Open
have
Cup
Sacramento
game.
Republic in the U.S. Open Cup.
So he can get full 90 in sack versus
Yeah,
Sacramento. Let's do that.
and then you got Portland, which is terrible defensively. That's a nice game to go out and play a couple
Dallas is
minutes.
pretty good.
Yep. Then you got
Then you
LAFC.
then you get big
Then
ones
you're gonna
with LA.
LAFC is gonna be a tough
This
game
is
for
really
him
not
because he
that good.
doesn't defend. Hmm.
It's okay.
So
Does he have time to come back? Yeah, I think he does. But I mean, it all depends on how he ramps up.
Yeah. Oh, well, because of the U.S. Open Cup, he still has technically 10 games to go. And if they beat Sacramento Republic, which you figure they will, that would give you an
Yeah,
11th game. And if you go again, he can play up to 12 games if he can start playing this weekend and stay healthy and everything goes well. Because of the U.S. Open Cup, he's going to have additional games that he could play. So he's going to have a chance to get into form, but it needs to start already. So that's the worry. It needs to start this weekend.
yeah, but I don't even think him and his camp in either La Seleccion and Minnesota expected this. That's what I'm saying. Like I
No.
don't know who to put the blame on because I was like, how do you not realize something's wrong?
All right. Moving over to Brazil, you have Jordan Arias. Played.
Hmm.
He scored yesterday. He had a good game. He got subbed off in the 60th minute. He doesn't really play a full 90 much for Palmeiras, but he has been playing well in his last 6 games. He has 4 goals. So John Arias has been playing very well in Palmeiras. He's looking like he's going to be in good form when it gets to the World Cup. So John Arias doing very well. I don't know if you have any thoughts on John Arias before we keep moving
No,
because
not
he's
this guy. It's funny because I was looking at here. He plays on the left there, so I mean, like at
yeah.
least he's being versatile and at least he can be used in other areas instead of the normal rights that he usually plays. But you know what? It seems like the Brazilian league is like his bread and butter. He went to Europe for a little while for the Prem. Granted, he went to the worst team
Yeah, Wolves.
in
Yeah,
Wolves, but I mean, is any way that he can keep playing and keep doing his thing. They seem like they love him there, and you just love to see it.
yeah, absolutely. We were talking about how John Arias is just that steady hand on the
Hmm.
right hand side. You don't expect too much from him, but he's steady. We're not gonna complain about it either. So John Arias looking like he's gonna be good in good form. And then we go to Portugal. The best performance of the weekend, probably Richard Rios was all over the place. The team had 3 shots on target. He had 2 of them. He played. He was having defensive stops. He was recovering blocks. I watched some of that game, and Richard Rios looked really good. He had a shot from outside the box that I thought might go in. The goalie had a great stop, and then he ended up scoring the only goal for
So the
Benfica.
1-1 tie versus Casapia AC.
Casapia, yeah.
Yeah,
And Casapia plays a very low block. Like it was basically just Benfica on the ball the entire game, and them trying to break them down. That's why Richard Rios was such a great asset there. He was constantly in the box, taking shots from outside the box. He had by far the best game of the weekend for any of the cafeteros, and he had the only goal for Benfica off of a header. So Richard Rios, like we've said, this World Cup is going to be. Um, a moment where I think a lot of people take notice of Richard Rio's skill because I think he's a little underrated globally right now when people think about Colombia, and I think this is going to be a big moment for him.
yeah, man. I mean, he was also one of those that made the jump to Europe, and he's flourishing. He
Yeah,
did really good, and he's also been one of those steady guys for us, and I love his game. He plays with that freedom. He plays with that flair, and he's that dog in the middle as well.
yeah. And talking about Palmeiras with John Arias, that's where he came from. He came from Palmeiras. So
Mhm.
Richard Rios, I think he might be my favorite player on La Selección right now. I mean, Luis Diaz, I know is the popular choice, but I love watching Richard Rios play. Whenever I have a chance to watch him play, uh, like you said, he has some flair to him. It looks like he grew up playing futsal because
Yeah, he did.
uh, he did he.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. He grew up playing futsal, and that
You can see
that
it.
kind of game you can see it.
Yeah.
That kind of game just makes you. It's one of those that force you to know how to take someone one on one and then just go at them.
Yeah, and then his work rate in the midfields, he'll get back and he'll get those defensive stops. He'll get those ball recoveries. He is just a workhorse, and Richard Rios is going to be a big part of whatever Colombia does this summer. So, Richard Rios had himself a good game. And can't forget to talk about Mojica. Mallorca
Yeah,
had a big win against Real Madrid.
big win
Now,
versus Real
Real
Madrid
Madrid
in the
did
Liga.
rotate their roster a bit because of the Champions League game, but Trent Alexander-Arnold was still coming down that right side, so he still had to defend Trent Alexander-Arnold. Brahim Diaz was playing. It's regardless, Real Madrid is Real Madrid, and and Mojica had himself a good game against them for Mallorca. So shout out to him.
I mean,
Davinson
for
Sanchez.
Mallorca, because they seem like they're in a relegation battle, but
Yeah.
that doesn't take away from like the good season that he's having individually.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And beating Real Madrid is no walk in the park. Like I said, rotation or not, it's not something that you just kind of just brush off, especially when they're in a battle for the La Liga title. They're I think after that loss, they're 4 points back of
They're
Barcelona.
7 points behind now.
Oh, it's seven now.
Yeah, because
So now
Barca
they're
won. Yeah,
so
so that's why.
so that was a big game for Real Madrid. So they wanted it, right? They rotation or not, they wanted it. So that was a big performance by him. And then I looked up Davinson Sanchez. Um, they lost. They gave up one goal. I couldn't tell you too much about how he did. I mean, just going based off of his rating, it looks like he had a solid game. Same thing with Lukimi, but I couldn't tell you too much about those center backs.
No, I don't really keep much with the Turkish league, and I don't. Doesn't Lukimi play for Russia in Russia or something like that?
He plays for Bologna. Bologna.
Yeah. Oh no,
Bologna.
yeah, it was in Italy. See that? Like I
Yeah.
don't. I don't. There's only so much you can keep up
Yeah,
with.
and of
Like,
course.
he's not doing good either way.
Yeah. So that is more or less the. Oh, and one more thing. Um, Kevin Mir. I've been wanting to see him play. He
Dude,
has
I
not been
watched
starting
him last night. There was yeah, he played last night in CCC and
against LAFC.
against LAFC. Made
Yeah.
some really good saves. Doesn't help that he let 3 goals in.
Yeah.
But he's still like, I feel like he's still the one that like he's the most liveliest. He's the young gun and he's the young goalkeeper.
But I was looking, and he has missed. Oh, is he at? He's missed a few games. Like, so he played against yesterday, right? And he did poorly. Then against Pachuca, he didn't play. And then he played against Mazaltan. Um, but then he didn't play against Monterrey. Well, then again, he just came back from injury, but he didn't play against Monterrey. He was available to play. Didn't play against Pumas. He was available to play. And he didn't play against Monterrey. And he was available to play. He was on the bench. So in the last 6 games that he technically was available, he's only played 2 of them. I don't know.
And then now he's back. He had a poor outing.
Right, and he had a poor outing yesterday against LAFC. Even though David Martinez was just carving him up. So it's going to be interesting, because I feel like that's going to be an area where I'm feeling a little uneasy about our keeper situation.
I'm trying to get a lot. I'm trying to get a lot more worried about these goalkeepers than I think we all of us have predicted. They come with a lot of uncertainties, but even though like you kind of know what you're expecting out of all of them.
Camilo Vargas played against Leon. He let up 2 goals. But again, I couldn't tell you. I don't keep up with with Liga MX too much, so we'll see. Again, I'm feeling a little uneasy about the keeper situation, but I'm gonna keep a close eye on Kevin Mir, because I'm really hoping that he can figure this out, because I think that he would be the best option if they give him a chance.
Yeah,
Right.
this is just a little Cafeteros Club update. International ball is over for the time being.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on these guys, because these are the guys that are going to ride out to and some. Oh, and then last thing I forgot to bring up, we keep talking about Quintero taking over for James. Quintero may be looking decent when he plays for River Plate, but he's not playing very much. Like, I knew he was coming on as a sub, but until I really went in there and I looked to see how often he's playing, like, he's not getting a lot of minutes. For example, this past weekend he played for 17 minutes. And then before that game on March 22nd, he played 15 minutes. And then against Sarmiento, he played 29. And then before that, he had 23. And then before that was 27. So he's coming on like as a super sub, I would suppose. But it's I don't know. It's a little worrisome also, because he's not getting a lot of run either.
Yeah, he came on the 73rd minute this past game against Belgrano. I mean, I guess on the bright side, he's getting time regardless. Whether you're just not good enough to make it on that 11, or the coach feels that like there's a better 11 out there. That's a completely different story.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well, like we said, this is just an update, Cafetero update, and we'll be doing a little more of these coming forward, just to keep everybody updated with the Colombian national team and how they're doing for their respective clubs. Any final words, Jorge?
No, man, stay healthy and stay in form, and we'll see you guys once it gets to May and June.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave 5 stars and a comment. If you watch on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we'll be back talking a little more Cafetero updates next week. Until the next one, have a good one.